Good morning, everyone. I am Rucha, and on behalf of NASCOM, I welcome you all to the ninth edition of NASCOM Annual Technology Conference, that is NATC. Let's begin with hands-on innovation workshop, Build, Integrate, and Design with ServiceNow Low Code by Saurabh Singh. Saurabh is a senior solution consultant at ServiceNow. In this workshop, let's understand the low-code, no-code architecture, design considerations, and appreciate the thought process that goes into building an LCNC app. And also, let's understand how to build specific use cases based on the requirement in a LCNC platform. Let's welcome Saurabh Singh from ServiceNow.
Hey, thanks, Ruja. Thank you so much for having me here today. Uh, I'll be talking through the low code, no code workshop today and helping the participants understand more about the nitty-gritties of how to build an app and how to use it for different purposes within their organizations. Sure. So, hi, good morning. Let me share my screen as well. I hope you all are able to see my screen right now. Hi, good morning, and welcome to the low code workshop. So, wherein we'll be learning about how to use the enterprise wide low code development practices for different low code apps that can be built across the organizations for different set of purposes, and how we can leverage that for different needs within the organizations. So I'll be speaking today to you across this workshop, and I am supported by two of my teammates, Chitra and Carmen, who would be available on the chat to answer any of your queries during the session today. So basically, uh, uh, the intent of the session today is to share a kind of a live demo instance with you. So yeah, this is just a generic safe harbor notice today, wherein there may be some forward-looking statements during these statements, so no buying decision should be made based on this. So just a generic slide on that. So just to talk you through the agenda for the today's session, this is how I have scheduled the session for today. So initial 15 minutes, I'll be taking you through how the low code world looks like, and talk about the creator workflow solution of the service now as well. And we'll also briefly talk about the San Diego release of ServiceNow, and what's there in the lab within the platform today. So what I'll be doing is, for each of the participants who are there on the session, so you'll be having basically a ServiceNow demo instance. So you'll and a lab guide. So the lab guide would allow you to use the platform to build a low code no code app of your own, which you can give you a flavor of how easy it is to build an application. So yeah, rest of the workshop is scheduled for the different lab exercises. So there are four lab exercises in terms of building different parts of the low code app, and finally we'll be doing the wrap up. So and feel free to kind of post your comments on the chat, or just give a thumbs up or anything, so that we can keep it engaging session. Carmen and Chitra would be there, available on this on the chat for. Yeah, someone is saying the slide is showing blank. I think it is visible for others. Yeah, all right. Sure. So moving on. So yeah, just the three of us today. Myself, Saurabh Singh. I'm supported by Chitra and Carmen, who are there available back in the chat section to answer any of your queries. And yeah, without taking much time, I'll start with the in brief introduction to the low code world, and how what are the considerations one should have in while creating the low code applications, and other things. So typically, a low code low code world is seen as either or. So either it is a low code or a pro code world is what typically users see it as, but it is not like that. Moreover, it is a team sport wherein different BUs of the organization, or different kind of personas like low code developers, the pro code developers, and the end users kind of have a mutual team sport wherein they create apps and use some bits of pro code environment to build a application which can be used for organization wide use. So on bottom left, what you see are the creators, which include both the low code developers, which could be the business users, and the pro code developers, the usual pro code developers that are available within any development environment of an organization. And they help, both having a combination of these two would help us bring speed and agility, and bring applications fast to the market. And then we have our end users who will be who key in terms of adopting it and having using it to the best of their requirements. And then there is this ops team who deploys, runs, and manages the application. So it's basically a team sport to do that. So I think someone is asking, is there a way to view the full screen? I think someone can help them from the NASCOM side to do that. I am not pretty sure on how it is done. Um, yeah, so I think double clicking it will help, it seems. So yeah, coming back, low code applications, as you know, are easy to create, delightful to use, and efficient to scale. So ServiceNow Creator Workflow Platform gives you exactly the same toolbox to do all of these things. Create applications which are simple to use, delighted and loved by users, and are frictionless to be collaborated across your IT environment. And a creative workflow, in fact, gives a platform wherein users can, or the admins can even look at the entire dashboard of the applications that exist within the entire organization landscape, and manage that in terms of what is the usability of the application, how it is being used or adopted within the organization, and based on that take a call whether to build more of such apps or not build more of those kind of applications. Coming back to how the automation works in the real world. So this is more about how, what are the nitty-gritties that we should think of when we are building a low code application. So, and how we can work in a better way to use the different facets in terms of planning and having the different goals and stages of the organization landscape. And then have the ability to predict the different events in terms of having alerts and events configured, initiate different requests, authorize approvals, have assess the scope of the application, and have different routing assignments in terms of flow of the app, whichever request is there. So a typical, maybe if all of the users can talk through their use cases, what do you think would be a good use case for building a low code app within your organization? It can be maybe a travel booking app, as simple as that, or maybe a procure to pay kind of application which integrates with your ERP within your organization. So what do you think is a good low code app that you would want to build for your organization? Maybe yeah, incident management. Great, Rahul. Yeah, that is something that can be built, although that is available out of the box as well for from ServiceNow. There is a build versus buy kind of a conversation a lot of times. And so yeah, we can definitely build a lot of these self-service portals. Definitely, that's something creative workflow definitely helps in. Yeah, keep the answers coming. Maybe I'll continue in the meanwhile. So yeah, so preparing in terms of building a knowledge base across the organization, having reviews to in terms of verifying the different parts and having the documents and optimizing the overall application landscape. Yeah, sorry about my throat, it's a little bad. Sorry. Yeah, so few of the features which are there in the latest San Diego release, we are all upcoming with the Tokyo in a couple of months as well. It's already available for developer use as well. So these were the few which were available in the San Diego: the decision builder, the flow designer diagramming, and the playbook activities. So these were out of the box available within the San Diego release. A few of the cool features which are coming in Tokyo as well. So the ServiceNow platform has this release terminology of alphabetical order. So like S for San Diego and T. The next one is T for Tokyo. Yeah, sorry. And so yeah, these are the few cool features of the application in terms of the San Diego version. In terms of Tokyo version, we have formula builder as one new feature, wherein you can have calculations we used to do in Excel, which could be done on the low code platform itself, and a lot of other app engine management center related updates, and quite a bit of others as well. Moving on, and I'll maybe skip through, and in the interest of taking you to the actual lab. uh, so if someone from NASCOM team can help in terms of whether they'll be getting a recording of the session, that would be helpful. Someone is on the chat asking about that. So yeah, San Diego had this RPA hub as well. So coming to the core offerings of the solution, the creator workflow solution is the low code platform of ServiceNow. It offers a solution in terms of app engine and automation engine. App engine would be the tool that we'll be using in today's workshop for doing most of the app build part of it, and we'll be using a bit of integration hub as well to do some integration with some spokes. I'll just quickly talk about what the application does and what the application scope would be shortly. And apart from that, we have RPA capabilities as well inbuilt within the platform, which can be used to automate any of the legacy applications which do not have a UI part of it to be, in terms of APIs and other modern engagement layers are not available. So for those kind of interfaces, we can have very much use the RPA hub. uh, we can interact with Conquer application, in fact, and what you see on your screen right now is a list of different spokes which are available out of the box in ServiceNow Integration Hub. And there are 175 of these, and there are 4,000 plus actions which are available as well. Conquer is definitely one of them, Mohit. So that basically includes all others as well that you see on your screen, including Okta, Azure, Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud, and SAP, and Coupa, Oracle, EBS, PeopleSoft, and yeah, Concur is over here, Ariba, and everything else. So yeah, these are a few of these. This is again not an extensive list. There are more to it, but yeah, just have put some of the important ones here. So yeah, now okay, the lab time now. So um, any area where challenges have been spotted? Challenges in terms of what, Shailesh, from interaction standpoint? I don't see much of that. If you can be, I mean, interaction in terms of app usage and all, I don't see a lot of that challenge. But yeah, so users have been able to seamlessly modernize their applications and use it across the enterprise. We have not seen much of that yet. So yeah, that was about it. So from the lab perspective, what we'll be doing today is we'll learn and gain valuable insights in the overall low code practice, and we'll ideate and build an app for the logistics environment. What the GIF on the last slide looked like. And yeah, we can do a licensing conversation maybe later, Anuj, or if Carmen or Chitra wants to comment on that. maybe you can do in the comment section and answer, Anuj. Yeah, and so the instance that we'll be sharing with you today will be available with you for next 48 hours as well, for you to play around and build any additional use cases that you want. So maybe a question time. How many of you have built an application before, or maybe a low code or a pro code or whatever? Maybe a yes or no would be fine. Yeah. Great, great. A lot of you have done so, I guess. Yeah. So this was just to take through that. Even if you have or you have not, today's workshop is for you. So it does not require any experience, and it can be used by low-code developers, intermediate developers, and even professional developers. Great. So yeah, coming back. So this is a real world problem we'll be taking through in the application today. So and fix a real world process bottleneck. So wherein we'll be talking about a logistics use case. A lot of you would have seen wherein the logistics department of yours is used for sending couriers for different set of type of assets to your customers, and then you are not able to track where your shipment is, or as an admin, if your organization is sending hundreds of shipments to different customers, going into different portals of UPL or DHL or FedEx to basically track their statuses becomes a pain for doing regularly for each of those hundreds and thousands of customers. So today's application would be targeting exactly at that. So we'll be workflowing exactly the same use case today. So just quickly brief you through. Sarah Shipman is our persona for today, who is tracking all these things manually on an Excel sheet, all the list of customers and whatever shipment she has shared, and the stage of shipment where the uh, shipment has reached. So yeah, yeah. So basically, all these shipments which are traveling using different logistics sites, we'll be tracking them through our low-code application today. So it will the Excel sheet would be replaced with the ServiceNow application. So the lab demo would include all of these portions today, including the creation of portals, having a process automation using the flow designer, the integration hub, the workspaces, the reporting, and the app engine studio part of it. Uh, Quickly walking you through the features of the App Engine Studio that we will be shortly using. It has a mobile studio of itself, which allows to create native mobile applications. It has a service portal, which allows users to have a service catalog experience, wherein a single UI can be used to access all the multiple applications that exist within the organizational landscape. A playbook experience to have a checklist kind of a view, wherein there can be five different activities and five other sub activities within each of those five activities. So a playbook experience for that within the workspace UI, and the flow designer, the integration hub, whatever we just talked about. Apart from that, the action designer, the virtual agent for having a chat kind of a experience with the customers of the application, the performance analytics, predictive analytics, guided application creation, and automated test frameworks for testing the low code apps that we build on the platform, and last but not the least, the delegated development within the workflows, and Capinion Studio, obviously. So just one request, Internet Explorer is anyways deprecated, so please, in case any of you has it yet, please don't use it for the application. Just you use the Chrome, or possibly use Chrome only for most of these things. Any other browser should also be fine. Firefox or Safari should be fine as well, but recommended is Chrome. um, what you see on your screen right now is the instance registration link. I'll request if Carmen or Chitra may post that as well in the chat. So you can go to this link, and basically what it will lead you to is a UI. Basically, I'll just quickly share that as well. Yeah, and that UI you can use to basically navigate. So give me a second. Yeah, so this will lead you to something like this. uh, yeah, I'll maybe also share the link. So just try going on this link and enter your first name, last name, and your email address and register for the lab. Okay, let me share this link also. Okay, yeah, I think I have shared the link. I'll wait till most of you are able to register. Yeah, Chitra also posted. Any of the links you can use, basically mine or Chitra's. All you need to do is just enter your first name. Like I can just, and we have 80 instances today. I'm not sure of the number of participants we have, or can I see that? Mm, I don't see the number of participants today, but yeah, we have 80 instances, so 80 of you would be able to register for it. So I would say first come first serve from that perspective. Just let me know once you are able to get into it. Just enter anything, yeah. A Gmail ID or anything is fine, because this is just for the sake of so that whenever you want to come back, you can log in with your same first name, last name, and email, and you'll be able to see the credential details as well. So yeah, I see for me these are the credential details, the username and password. Chitra has also posted that, but again, this is what it will look like. Cool. So once you are into the instance, yeah, this is what the UI would look like. And once you copy the password and enter to it, this is what your UI would look like. Great, great. A lot of you are already in. Yeah. So what I'll want you all to quickly do is just click on this lab guides section that you see on the screen, on the home screen, and download this logistics lab. Once you click that, a PDF will get downloaded, or maybe yeah, you'll be able to download it from here. So this is our lab guide for today that we'll be using. All right, and you'll all be able to see a PDF guide like this available to you, wherein it talks briefly about the use case that I talked, wherein there is a logistics department within the organization, and as a citizen developer, Joe is trying to build an application for this, and uh, he'll be doing that within the lab today. Manisha is waiting in the lobby. See, Mansha is waiting in the lobby. So can someone help her? Help him. Sorry. Yeah. Logistics lab. So this is the lab. Sorry. I'll go back. Logistics lab. You have to download the logistics lab. So, all right. I hope most of you would have, done that. So yeah, we have this logistics lab here on your screen right now that you have to download, and then open the App Engine Studio next. Right. So I am on a short screen right now. So once you open the App Engine Studio, you'll be able to log in here to the App Engine Studio home screen. Are you able to do that? Shailesh, what is the challenge you're getting? Are all of you able to log into the App Engine Studio link from from your home screen? Cool. Most of you are. Those of you who are not, please post your question in the chat, and one of our, Kamen or Chitra would be able to help you on how to go forward with that. So, all right, these are the four exercises for today. And first one would be building an application, which would be taking 25 minutes. Next would be to create a workspace experience, which would be taking next 20 minutes, and then we'll be creating a integrated business process wherein we'll be integrating to these spokes for integrating with UPL, DHL, and FedEx to get the real-time view of our shipments. And last experience is like optional. You can try that on your own, maybe towards the later part of the session, or maybe once you go back from the lab, you'll have the lab guide as well as the instance for you, so you can basically do that. Moving on, this is your App Engine Studio home screen, that it look what it looks like. So I'll just quickly walk you through what you see on your screen right now. In terms of App Engine Studio, it would be a getting started screen here, and you can maybe close the dialog box, and this is what you see. So what you see on top is a quick start link, which allows you to build different components of an application, as in add a table which is for a data model, add an experience which is for a UI experience, which can be a portal or a workspace experience. Portal experience is typically for a for a end user to be creating requests, and workspace experience is typically for a manager to be looking at dashboards and creating other admin related activities. And then there is a flow part of it, which allows you to create workflows and integrate with different integration hub components, be it Concur, SAP, or DHL for today's use case. Here you see your recent applications in this bar. Then there are some templates which are available out of the box here. All of these templates are ready to use. Once you use any of these templates, you can even build an out of the box applications within no time. So what we'll be doing today, we'll be creating an application from scratch, which we'll be doing from here, and which your lab guide also would basically guide you into. So once you walk down and look at exercise number 5, the 30 minutes exercise, that is exactly what we are going to do. So have your PDF handy, and your instance both maybe open in a parallel screens or parallel tabs, so that you can refer back to each of these. And yeah, moving on, so this is how our home screen basically looks like, and this is the shipments kind of a table that we'll be creating first. So Deepak is asking for password. Password is something that you get once reserve your instance. So this is where you get your password basically. So once you had entered your, or you can even use the same password. I think it's the same for everyone. uh, SADAUG263 is the password which you can use. Deepak, I've just posted it for you as well. So yeah. So I'd request, rather than walking you through each of these steps, it would be great if you can, look at the exercise PDF and start to do on your own. I think you all are, pretty techie guys, so it should be pretty easy to walk through each of these instructions and build a first experience as a part of this first exercise. All right, so I'll be here. Chitra and Carmen would also be here to assist all of you. Can I integrate this with an existing app as an in an async operation? Yes, you can, using the integration hub, as long as your third-party application or whatever your other application is having a REST API endpoint or any other JSON-based endpoint, so we can integrate that. Uh, yep. All right. No worries, Deepak. Mm, Deepak, you're on the dashboard screen. I think which dashboard you're on. I guess you're on the app dashboard. This dashboard, I guess. So you have to open the App Engine Studio after downloading the lab guide. The lab guide is known as the logistics lab. Once you download that, you'll have this PDF. Post that, you need to open the App Engine Studio from this link, and then you'll be on this particular screen from where you can your lab guide would be able to assist you and basically help you with the further process. I can also, once most of you are done, I'll be able to walk you through as well. Maybe I'll quickly do that and start a timer as well. So yeah, this is how your data view would look like, and these are different steps in the PDF that you see. So these are the fields that you'll be adding from the add a new field screen, and this is how it would get added, and you'll be adding your choices as guided. And yeah, so maybe yeah, I'll start the timer. Already 5 minutes have gone, so yeah. Timer is for the application basically. So 30 minutes are allocated to the particular app build. So just for that, so that we have the track of time. Unable to download the lab guide. It's available right over here. Once you log into your instance, you have this link for the lab guides. The logistics lab is here. Yeah, KB0111 latest page. Yeah, you have this over here. The attachment. Cool. Anuj, what issue are you facing? Mm, Anuj, are you still not able to access it? Yep. Yeah, that's an important step as well to come back. Once you get into the lab guide on this knowledge base article and download the link, you have to click on this back button over here, and then get back and open your App Engine Studio from this link, and then follow the lab guide as Carmen said. Nothing opens up on clicking the logistics lab for Anuj, it seems. Okay. Uh, it should ideally lead you to this knowledge base article. Is your internet fine? Maybe refresh it or try opening it again. All right. So if you are getting an error saying, your app encountered an existing unexpected error, so this is a known bug actually. So when you create your app, so just try naming it something else, not logistics. Maybe logistics and your name, logistics and some. Because a lot of you are trying to create with the same name. So maybe logistics with Saurabh 01. I would do that, and. Description which is there in the lab guide. So if you do that, you should be fine, I guess. If any of you are still facing that, try using a custom name, logistics with some keyword, some date, timestamp, or some random keyword, and that error would be gone. It's just because all of you are in the same namespace and trying to create the same logistics app, so that logistics keyword sometimes gets blocked. Right, and then you'll be on this screen, and then you'll have option to create your data model and everything else. And did that solve your error, Karthik? Cool. Mm, no more instance available. Yes, we had a count for 80 today. Uh, so maybe I'll walk you through once all the others are done. So sorry, Sam. We had 80 instances available today as a part of the workshop, and that is why you are not able to get any more instances, I guess. Uh, Nilu, you also may try, with some other keyword for the application name, and that unexpected error should be gone. Anuj, on the Edge browser, is it working fine? You say that you have opened it on a Edge browser. Okay, cool. Yeah, just that Internet Explorer, the old Internet Explorer would not work. All right, and at any point, any of you are facing any query issues, please feel free to drop down in a chat message. All right. So yeah, I think yeah, Chitra has a spare instance as well. So one of the participants can use that. I think we have 100 plus attendees right now in the forum, and we have only 80 instances. So sorry for the rest 20 of you, but I'll be walking you through the app build process in my instance. You can follow the lab guide as is, and you should not worry about the role name. You can continue with the default role names, Anshul. Yeah, Jabert, an Excel upload will create the table by itself. That's correct. What does the display field mean in the table editing screen? Just a second. In step 10, you're referring to? Okay. Which one? So, display field typically is when you add the data model, basically add, create a table, get started. So I'm also walking through the creation of a table as well in the parallel, created from scratch, and maybe call it oh, what are we calling it in the lab? Yep. So shipments. So in the parallel, I'm also creating a data model. All right. Use Karthik, if you create a table and then create from scratch, I think yeah, that leads you to that create from scratch option. Cool. All right. I'll add the recipient field as well. I think the display name is this one only. Someone was asking what is the display name, so I think recipient here would be the display name, and it will take the column name automatically. And then this is a sys user field. Sorry. Yep. So a lot of times you won't get that. You just type user, and you should be able to get it. Okay. Just a second. Mhm. What's the issue? Hmm. All right. Oh, sorry. I have to use a reference field first, and then user. Yeah, that's a sys user. So basically, whenever you are giving a reference field, it is basically going to pull from existing table of ServiceNow, or existing table within your data model. So there is a master user table called sysuser and a master location table called cmn underscore location, which it would be using. So yeah, hope everyone is able to do that. Uh, Feel free to drop a chat message wherever you get stuck. Thanks, Brittany. Glad that you were able to follow the guide easily. Right. So yeah, once you are done with the form, go to the form view. I think most of you will already be there. So, okay, Sajal is done with the workshop. I mean, the exercise one. Maybe move on to exercise two, Sajal. Uh, Whosoever is done with exercise one, maybe please feel free to move on to exercise two, as that is linked as well. In fact, all exercises are linked subsequently. Uh, Please just type in the chat once you're done with lab one, so that I have a view of how fast or slow we are going. Great, Ashwini, Karan. Please feel free to, go on to exercise two. Great, Shrikant. Partha, TG, great. Oh, great, Srinivas. You're already done with lab two. Oh, Shrikant as well. Great. So I'll maybe quickly walk you through what we have done so far within lab one and lab two. So lab one was more about, or maybe let me wait till for another 4 minutes so that everyone else is also done. So yeah, great, Nitij. So you can continue to lab three in that case. So what essentially we are doing here is, on the left you see all these tabs for data experience, logic and automation. Again, these are for guidance. You can turn them off or on as well. So data, as you know, for any low code application, data model is the key. These are the tables and the linked reference fields that we are creating in terms of what all would be required for our application. Then from the experience perspective is the UI experience that we are building for our end users. And from the logic and automation perspective, these are the actual integrations with the spokes for DHL, UPL, and FedEx. So that is what we are trying to achieve in today's lab. Yeah, Chitra has just posted a quick summary here. you know what we are trying to do: create a logistics app to track shipment from various providers. We have created an app, defined a backend data structure to store the details, created a UI interface for the logistics admin to operate. In step 3, we are creating a workflow to get the shipment details and update the records. And step 4, we are enabling the mobile application. Great. Thanks, Chitra, for that. Cool, Shrikant. Move on to lab 2, I would say. Anyone facing any difficulty, please feel free to drop in the chat message. Lab 3 typically is where most people would face one or the other smaller UI issues, but yeah, it's more or less seamless. Stuck with references, George. Okay, I'll maybe show you how what may be an error. So, like for example, sysID was a reference field. Sorry, sysID was not. What was the reference field? Let us say destination is a reference field here. So uh, you can follow on the screen, George, maybe. So whenever you are in a reference field and you are choosing a reference as a field type, then within the reference you get to choose an option. So for the case of location, you just type location with a capital L, and it should be able to give you all the location related tables, and you select CMN underscore location. In case you are doing for the sys user, you just type user and you'll be shown a drop down of different user tables, and sys user would be the one. um, does that help, George? Is there no voice? All right. Am I audible? Hello? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think couple of you are not able to hear. Yeah, yeah. So, George, were you able to figure the issue with your references? Yeah, thanks, Rucha. Uh, Jyoti, so what I would request is, and since we had limit for 80 instances only today, best case what you could do is you could go to the developer.servicenow.com, and there you can request for a developer PDI instance, personal developer instance, and you should be able to use most of the functionalities from today's session there. So maybe you can look at the different ways and means we are using today. You can just sign in and create a account here, and you should be able to get your own developer instance. So it's a free website, developer.servicenow.com, and here there are a lot of learning tracks available as well. I'll maybe post a link to that. So that is the best you can do. Sorry that you were not able to get one of those instances. Great, Rajesh. Please continue to exercise 3. Yeah, this is the developer instance link, Jyoti, or and others who were not able to get a lab instance today. You can right away go and request for an instance there, and you can do most of the part of what we are doing within the lab there as well. Sorry, I could have told this earlier, but yeah, you can do this. Or you may not have few components of the pre-configured lab in the PDA instance, but again, the you'll have everything else there. But yeah, so we just need to create one shipment record, right? Yeah, that should be enough. Yeah, follow the guide is what I would say. Yeah. All right, so I think we are done with the time for lab one, and I'll just quickly talk through what we did in lab one. So we just created a data model and a form view, which would be used for the later experiences. And in the next section of the lab, we'll be building a workspace. Some of you have already done that, and yeah, that is essentially what we are trying to do. We'll be doing a SAP, sorry, the workspace for the logistics app in this section, and we'll be creating a logistics experience over here, and then editing it, and then looking at the different components over there. So yeah, while many of you have already completed that, but still I'll allocate 20 minutes for that and do that in parallel as well, so that some of you who are not having the lab instances can follow as well. All right, going to the exercise 2. Yeah, while most of you have completed that, I'll do it for. Yeah, workspace is the most commonly used workspace, Sham. Yeah, used experience. Yeah. Yeah. A workspace, rather, if I would were to quote it correctly, workspace is mostly used for the admin view or the dashboard view kind of a thing. You get out of the box dashboard, you get out of the box table view, and you get out of the box analytics capabilities as well. I didn't add data in the workspace. Okay, let me help you with that. Uh, all right, maybe I'll just do the entire exercise too as we speak. All right. So we'll just create a logistics experience in this where we are. So we go to the workspace, we get started. We are doing a new logistics thing. So what are you saying that you were not able to? I didn't add data in the workspace. Okay. So you just need to have this logistics as a name and then have a table linked to it as the shipments table, which is here. So I think that's it. Mm, or maybe, yeah, I missed adding the requested item there. I'll do it again, maybe. Let me do that once more. So in case any of you did something wrong, you can always do and delete it and create it afresh. Yep. So shipments, and then our secondary table is what? SC rec item, requested item table basically. And yeah, this is here. This is again a system table that we are using, pre-existing table. Yeah, we pulled another table, Mayank. All right, so if you go into the preview, this is where we land. Yeah, so this is the dashboard view which we get as the first part. Then this is the list view, and then you have something called as the analytics center as well as a part of this workspace view, which we can keep for the later part in case. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the shipment we don't have any record. We'll go ahead and create one new one for. Yeah, locations or yeah. It's important to choose the destination as what we have given here. It would be useful for the further integration that we'll be doing. So yeah, recipient is Roger Seed and our destination is 261 North Highway. I'll do that as well. Yep. Recipient is Roger. Again, these all these names are being pulled up from the same system table that we used, sys user table and the CMN location table. Tracking number. What is our tracking number? Let me get it. So I think, yeah, it's important to use the same tracking number, I think, for our integration to work correctly. Let us say of career is FedEx. And what else? Yeah, that's it. Status is new. Yeah, that's it. This creates a new record and done. Yeah, so this is the new record which was created. So I think this is it for lab 2. Done with lab 2, Shrikant. Great. Move ahead to lab 3. Yeah, I think I'll quickly skip through this or maybe let others catch up. TG done with lab 2. Great. Anyone facing any issue with lab 2? Karan is facing some issue. I'm not getting the table fields that we created. Which step, Karan, are you referring to? I'm not getting the table fields that we created. You mean in the table? You might have missed one option. So if you go to your data back once you go back to your home and get into your app, if you go back to your data, Karan, just make sure that in your form view, which will just come up. Once you close the dialog box and you go to your form view, make sure that you have configured all these correctly and saved it. If you have not, you may not get it when you're creating a new item. You may not get your fields. And as Carmen is mentioning, do click save after you create this. So yes, that is a step I think you missed, because of which I think when you are going ahead and creating a new new entry in the now experience for the second lab, you're not get sorry. I'll just quickly close this, go back, and yeah, okay, sorry, what am I doing wrong? Preview. Yeah, once you go back to the preview, you would get those fields if you have configured them properly. So in the shipment record, I guess when you're clicking on new, you're not getting these fields. Is that what your problem is, Karan? Yeah, that so it is just because of the problem that you could not configure the data table form correctly. So I'll just give you those instructions again. So once you're on the app home, in the data view within the shipments, there is a table view, then there is a form view. Within the form view, you have to search for your specific fields over here, destination for example, and then pull it from here. For example, let me move it back. So if I want to move destination here, so I'll have the option to drag and drop over here and then click save. It is by default saved once you do that. But yeah, that's the issue would be creating that problem. All right. Anyone else facing an issue? Karan, just let me know once you're able to fix that. If not, we'll try to help you further. All right. So those who are done with exercise 3, please follow on with exercise 2, follow on with exercise 3, where we'll be building a automated integration flow. I'll try to do that as well. So once you are in the dash workspace view, you'll have to switch tabs to go back to the previous app home, where you get to create this logic and automation. You add it here, you add a flow, sorry, build it from scratch maybe. I think that is how it goes. App home, create process, logistics and automation, and call it as track shipments. Yeah, and maybe copy this description as well. I'll close this for now. Pack shipments is our workflow. I see data with RITM in the table. How is this added? So Sham, this was added from the requested item table that we added in the workspace view, right? SC underscore rec underscore item. So that table had that item already created. So I think it is coming from that. Yeah. Shipments, description, continue. Edit this flow. Yep. So how many of you have finished lab 2 and reached to lab 3? Or how many of you rather are still on lab 2? If you can maybe post it in the chat. Lab 2 done, lab 2 done. Great. On lab 2, Ashwini. All right, take your time. We have 7 more minutes scheduled. Yeah. Sumit moving to lab 3. Great. Lab 2, lab 2 done, lab 2 done. Cool. Yeah, please for carry on with lab 2 or lab 3 as depending on where you are. I'll wait for some more time for all of you to finish lab 2. After click all shipments under shipments, when I click on the new button, I'm getting different. Okay, screen. You're getting a different screen, as in Deepthi, you're not getting the fields that you created. Different form is coming. Okay. ServiceNow core is the core actions, Mayank, which is basically, so if you see, I think you are somewhere here in the exercise. Or yeah, so ServiceNow core actions are basically the core actions within the ServiceNow ecosystem. So as I was talking about integration hub and all those different spokes that are available, 175 different spokes for SAP, Concur, and whatnot. So of that, ServiceNow core is the actions which is doing the actions for the for the ServiceNow itself. So whether an item is created in ServiceNow or updated in ServiceNow, so all those kind of core actions are included in that ServiceNow core part of it. Coming back to what I think Mayank or Deepthi was saying. So if you are going into the shipments, you're saying that you're getting a different view. Okay, go into shipments all, and then you're creating a new item. You're not getting the fields. I think you would not have configured all these fields within your form view in the data model. what I just mentioned to another participant. Okay. So if you go to app home, sorry, who was it? Deepti. Yeah, if you go to app home, Deepti, and go to your data model and edit that, there is this form view. So just ensure that you have checked your form, configured your form view in this manner itself, as was mentioned in the lab guide page number. I'll tell you, as was mentioned over here in step number 18 of lab 1 on page 13. So if you follow this step correctly, you should be able to get this kind of a form view. So this is step number 18 in lab 1. So just try to fix that in lab 1 section of the form, and you should be able to get the this thing. Okay, you're saying that the form view is correct, but still you're not getting the fields in this one. In that case, maybe try saving it. If not, then that what I mentioned should fix your problem, Deepti. Moving back to flow. So yeah, the trigger I think is for 3 hours, or what is it? Yeah. So we'll add a trigger for 3 hours here. Repeat every 3 hours. Right. Great, Deepti. Great to know that it's sorted. All right. Once you add a trigger, you go to the. What we are doing is we are creating a trigger to repeat. So basically, in any ServiceNow workflow, there are three different things that are happening. Basically, two core things: a trigger and action. And within action, there are three different sub actions that are possible. One could be an action, another could be a flow logic, and a sub flow. So I think most of you are already doing that or already done with that. So yeah, just a minute. So you'll look up a record within the ServiceNow core action, right? Look up. So one step that most of us get wrong here is to choose lookup records, not lookup record. So that there is a difference between the lookup records and lookup records. So lookup record will get you a single field only, and lookup records will get you a complex object with multiple fields. Our exercise requires us to use lookup records, which is going to pull up all the records matching the particular criteria that we would mention, or which would we would give. So that is one 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 place where a lot of people do mistake, and that's why this important note: make sure that you select up lookup records and not lookup record. So just make sure that you have used the correct lookup records plural option over here. All right. Exercise 3.30, not seeing two for each collection. Okay. I'll get there, Nitij, quickly, and maybe you can follow there. All right. Yeah, we were still on lab 2 in terms of the time, but yeah, that's okay. Those who are done with lab 2, please move to lab 3 section in the PDF. All right. Going back. All right. Shipments. Our table is shipments. This one, and then it should meet the criteria that it is okay. Mhm. New and in transit. Mhm, mhm, mhm. So I think Nitish, you are here for each, and then you want to, drop the shipment records over here, which is this one. I think you must be facing an issue with not being able to drop this, right? The only error that would have caused this is you used a singular shipment record in this one. As I was mentioning, lookup records. This should be lookup records, not lookup record, not the singular one, the plural one. Then you have that same complex object. So if you see by if the normal coding logic also, so whenever you have to run a for loop, it needs to have a complex object, not a single object. For each item in a list of objects, not for each item in a single object. So when you say lookup record, it will give you a list of only a single record, but lookup records will give you a list of records. So we have to navigate through the list of records and not the single record. Error is that I'm not able to seeing the table drop down. This table drop down, you mean the okay, you're not able to find. So your table may be called different. I mean, you may have named it a little different, or did you name it shipments itself, or did you name it? You named it shipments itself. Then once you click shipments, let me get okay. If you're clicking shipments over here, tracking I named. Yeah, okay. Then you won't get shipments, right? If you named it tracking, then try with tracking. It's the table name basically. So try with tracking here, then you should be able to get your table here. So if you have not named your table shipments, you won't find it, obviously. Let me know if that solved your problem, Nitij. All right. So for each shipment record, yeah, here we are. Add a, sorry, what are you doing for each shipment record? Hmm, just a second. For step 46, okay. Uh, what is step 46? It tells what data which record we wish to update. To do this, either data will. Mm, 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 mm. So once we are getting the details from the spoke for the shipment update, we are going to update it and back into one of the master tables of service now, right? So that is exactly what we are doing. So I think, yeah, we are on exercise 3 now. I think most of you would have already completed by exercise 3, and this is what the ultimate flow would look like, you know, wherein if the carrier is FedEx, then we update track shipment from FedEx and update the shipment record. I'll just quickly do that as well. Just a minute. Update shipment record with the field value. Sorry. If you go back over here, you're updating our shipment record, right? And the current status is what we are updating. Yep. Mhm. Status is current status, and the delivery date is the expected delivery date. All right. And then repeat the same for other two as well. So that's exactly what we're doing. Thanks for answering. Step 16 of exercise 3, not able to see values in the condition. Wow, Sajal, great. If exercise 3 is completed, I think next is the mobile view. What? Okay, let me complete. Look at other queries as well before that. So Sajal, you can move to exercise 4, and it will require you to download a mobile application of Now Mobile, either on Android or iOS, and use that. Yeah, just a sec. Just a second. step number 16. Sorry, yeah. Mm, okay, Srinivas, you're done with exercise 4 as well. Great. So, how do you launch it? So, for launching it, you need a production instance. First of all, this is more of a dev lab instance. So, you can use it locally on this environment until your lab is existing, and later you can, have a developer instance of your own and try to play around different things on that. If you are done with lab 4 and already clear on all the components of what we covered today, so yeah, maybe it's okay for you to drop off as well. And yeah, just a second. Sorry, there is a power outage here. I'm not able to see my second monitor. Okay, just give me a second. I'll share back my screen again. Okay, let me instead share my entire screen. So, which means that I won't be able to see your chats anymore, but I'll allow Carmen to handle that for now, and we'll switch over to my instance again. Right, this is okay. I think this view is better. So, yep. I'll maybe do it again for all of these. Uh, Jabert, you're stuck with drag and drop. I think Carmen is able trying to answer you, but let me try to do that as well. Do we need to go to exercise 4, Rajesh? Yes. Um, you'll need to download a now mobile app for that on your app store on iOS or your Play Store on Android. Please do that, and then you'll need to log in with the instance details over here. So the lab guide would be able to guide you from that perspective. Let me also, yeah. Mm, all right. Shrikant, great. You were able to do with lab 4 as well. Great to know that. So I think, yeah, that step 4 was our last step for today's lab. So congratulations on completing the mobile experience as well. So yeah, you can play around with the lab instance further, and you can feel free to stay or feel free to drop off if in case, yeah, you want to, because the those are the four exercises we were going to cover in today's lab. All right. Will the instance be available for a longer time? Yes, Sham, it is available for you for 48 more hours, or rather, today and so till Monday. It's Monday today, right? Till Wednesday 7 p.m. You should be having access to it. On running the test, FedEx module didn't run. I joined late and seems the exciting session is the manual. Saurabh, yeah, I mean, there is a lab guide actually which we had, but I'm not sure how would you be able to access it now. Carmen, can you share a link to lab guide in case someone who has joined late, and they want to try it on their own later, maybe on a dev instance. Yeah, great, Saurabh. All right. Move back to my presentation for a bit. So, all right, this was what we did, and once you run your tests, this is how it looks like once the tests are run successfully. So you can even debug all your errors over here and do anything more on that part. From the transaction perspective, I think for the FedEx bit, it would have updated for Roger. Let me do that in my app as well. Just a minute. Sorry. Yeah, maybe I'll test it as well. Run test. I didn't do it for all the spokes, but yeah, it's the same condition again. So FedEx was what we had done for Roger in. Let me go back to home. Logistics, experience, preview, and mm, yeah, I think this has been updated over here based on what flow we had run. All right, so moving back to my slides. Uh, Now, for exercise 3, we are already done. Now, for the mobile experience bit, I would leave it to you. In case all of you are interested, you can maybe download your application from iOS or Android using this QR code, or within the App Store itself. If you type in the ServiceNow Agent app, you should be able to get it. And this, I mean, it's a seamless application. You'll need to log into your lab instance over here, and using the credentials that we use today, you should be able to log in and then view it within the application as well. So it's a easy way to do that. Again, not a rocket science. I won't be able to share my mobile screen here, so I'm skipping it for the part of the lab demo that I would be able to show, but you can surely do that on your own. Right now, we have some more time, I guess, for today's session. Just let me go back. Sorry about this. My second screen is not available. Yeah, we have some time, so I think we'll take time to answer queries of participants rather. Lab 4 done, Karthik. Great, awesome. So yeah, that was how a quick app could be built on ServiceNow, and integration could be done, and how we can do it. Maybe a quick new feature that you could explore here in the workspace is the analytics center, wherein it kind of has a bit of natural language understanding as well. Wherein if you ask it for shipments in transit, maybe it basically is able to fetch from whatever tables you have, and then tell you, shipments with status as transit. uh, Maybe it, or if it does not understand, it asks you for something. Status open, I guess. Let me check. Shipments with career FedEx, maybe we can ask. Career as FedEx. I think there is some issue with this. Or maybe shipments by courier, we can ask. No, some issue, I guess. Leave it. Uh, yeah, there is a now mobile app. Let me look through the queries chat in the meanwhile. Prabhakar, even I joined late. Please share the link. Let me see if I can. Mm, Okay, we are looking into sharing a public link to LabGuide in case, but again, there would be limited capabilities of the lab that we can use on a dev instance. For all of you who were not able to use the lab instance today, should be lesser of the audience, but still you can use the. I'll just show you on the slide as well. You can use all of these resources. Maybe you can take a screenshot of the screen. So developer.servicenow.com is the screen where you get to register for an account, and once registered you can request for a developer instance. Now I mean, Quebec was older one. We had Rome, San Diego, and now we have Tokyo as well available. So you can register for the latest one as well, even the Tokyo one. So these are the links. I think I've posted this developer site link already for the now learning. Maybe just let me open this and share it with you, or maybe I'll just do that. Oh, it's open already. So yeah, this is the now learning link that you can use. So you have all of these learning resources available over here, wherein you can even do certifications for various ServiceNow paths. You can look at different paths, and you can do different certifications and learn various things about the low code app development and other bits of the art. Yeah. So and you can do much more than that as well. So I think, yeah, that was it. Once all of you are done with it, it would be great if you can also take a small survey by scanning this link, or maybe by just uh, sorry, by posting this URL in. Yeah, I'll just post that. Yep. Let me do that. Please post your feedback here. So yeah, from the lab perspective, these were the exercises that we had to cover, and we are still here till the scheduled time to answer any queries. Can we get a link to the lab guide? I don't see an option to share a PDF here in the platform avail here, and I am not too sure on how. I'm checking with my team if we have a option. You can add a link for that on the chat. Yeah, so let me try. Mm, 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 mm. How to check the mobile app on Now Mobile? I think it would be available whenever you installed your Now Agent app, Rajesh. You would have logged into the same lab instance that we had for today. Based on these screens. So essentially, you would get an option to log into your mobile app, wherein you will be uh, giving the URL to your lab instance, which is the one you are using right now. Give it a identifier, whatever you want to call it, and once you'll be popped up with a login credentials. Once you add your login details, you should be able to get a uh, active shipments details and all of these things in your app. So yeah, that is how you need to access it. Going back. Mm, okay. Right. Mm, in the lookup record status, I'm not getting the value in the data picker. Okay. Okay. Deepthi is having a query, I guess. Okay, let me go to the logic and automation. So two things there, Deepthi. One, just check if you use the lookup records part of it, and then for each item in the shipment records, you need to go to track shipment action, and then use the tracking number over here, which is right here. Sorry. Yeah, right here, the tracking number. So you're not able to drag and drop that. Is that what the issue is? Sorry. Sorry about this. My screen is behaving a little weird. Mhm. All right. Just a minute. I think it is the Now Agent app, Rajesh. There are two apps for the instance. One is called Now Agent, and another is called Now Mobile. Uh, I'm sorry if I said Now Mobile once. So instead, if you can do it on Now Agent app, that would be better. So that is the app which we are using for other queries from Deepthi. Deepthi, was your query resolved? Um, and just please leave your feedback here. Would be helpful to understand how it went today in terms of if your expectations were met or not. Um, yeah, I'm yet to hear from Deepthi if her query was resolved. Okay, cool, cool, Deepthi. Yeah. Anyone else facing any issue with any parts of the lab, or else we can close it for the day. Okay, no worries, Ashwini. Thanks, Shyam. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Rajesh. Glad to have you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Rucha, do you want to have any closing remarks before we close the call for today? Uh, Great, great to hear all those feedbacks. Yeah, Ashwini, thank you.
Saurabh, thank you so much. It was actually a wonderful workshop, and I am so much sure that the audience also had a wonderful experience. You getting
Great.
the feedbacks, and the session was very much interactive. Thank you so much for this experience for all of us.
Thank you, Rucha. I think I'm done with the lab, and I think most of the participants
All
are
right,
also done. We were not able to share a link to the lab guide. Is there a way we can do that later on?
you can share that with us, and we'll see what can we do about it.
All right, sure.
All right.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
once
inviting
again,
me.
Saurabh. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.